Hello Musketeers and welcome to Mondays with Mickey. My name is Mike Knigge and I am your host, and this is the week of January 25th, 2016. You might be noticing that this is not being loaded on January 25th, it's actually being uploaded on January 26th. That would be because we were victims of Snowmageddon 2016, the big winter storm that hit the east coast of the United States. Luckily we were in the 1 foot range of the snow. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but in North Carolina that's a ton. But, you know, it could have been so much worse. We could have been caught in that 4 foot range that New York got. But, as a result, it put me behind and I wasn't able to post this on time like I normally do. I'm going to apologize now. You're probably hearing weird banging noises and such in the background. We're in the process of putting our house back together after this week of being shuttered in. And apparently I've got a text message via my phone. That was Stitch if you didn't hear. So, again, I apologize for all the background noises. Hopefully, you won't have too many of them as I'm going along. But, yes. So, this week we are going to be talking about Epcot, particularly Future World. This, again, is coming from our trip back in September of 2015. This is a series we've been working on, for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Epcot is the last park of this series. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. We're going to start off with some pictures in the video though, so take a look at that and I'll be right back.
You have no pins that I wanted, so. Where'd you get it? Where'd you get that?
The funny looking flat nose.
I like carpet shark, but I'm not sure.
Is that a stingray?
Yep. Stingray. Tasha, give me your stingray in the I should say it somewhere, but I don't see it.
Thumb and clown.
And an old Nemo. Look at it.
What part of I just said?
Look, there's a big. Look who's in the tank. Look over there.
Oh, like starfish. Upside down bluefish. Huh?
You see.
So that means you bounce on their bodies? I don't
Alright, well, welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos and the pictures. That was the first video from Epcot. That is Future World. We did 2 days of Epcot. You know, Epcot really is a 2-day park, you know, as well as Magic Kingdom. We have really developed a love for Epcot. You know, in the past, when I first went to Epcot, it was educational, so as a younger kid, I was like, school. And I really wasn't into it. But as the years have gone on, I've really grown to love Epcot. And the attractions up front are very much theme park. And of course, the World Showcase itself, yes, educational, but it's fantastic to experience the other countries' cultures, to speak to people from those countries. And not to mention there are some attractions in that area. So this week we're gonna focus on Future World. Next week we'll focus on World Showcase. The week after, we'll talk about food. And then the 4th week, we will just go ahead and wrap up just miscellaneous things, feelings, top 10, bottom 10, no, top 5, bottom 5 experiences, so on and so forth of Epcot. So, Future World. Now, most of the rides and attractions in Epcot are in Future World. You know, it's your high adventure rides like Test Track, for example, is in Future World. Your themed rides like Finding Nemo or Soarin', they're in Future World. So it's almost its own park by itself. You know, when Epcot was first created, it was designed to be 2 separate parks. Future World was its own park, and then World Showcase was the original Epcot. But as they were building it, they realized that neither of them were quite large enough to be a park on their own. So they put them together and created Epcot. Obviously, that's not the initial origins of Epcot. Epcot was Walt's idea. But when they were actually putting Epcot together, this is kind of how it went. Keep in mind, when they're actually forming Epcot and designing how it was going to go, Walt had already passed. So, lots of interesting things happened after Walt passed. It's not exactly his vision. But still, it's an amazing, amazing park. And very dynamic and very involved. So, talking about Future World, one of the first rides in Future World that you see is the actual icon of the park. It's the giant golf ball looking object called Spaceship Earth. It takes you through the history of communication from, you know, the ancient Phoenicians up to, you know, getting messages from the Apollo missions, computers, talks about the creation of writing and the burning down of the Great Library. It's a fantastic ride that takes you basically through the ages. And it kind of winds through the giant ball up to the top, and then towards the end, at the end, you kind of slowly lowers you back down, and you get to predict your ideal future. A lot of fun. It's cheesy. It's old animatronics, but it's a lot of fun to ride. To me, it's one of those classic Disney rides you have to ride if you go there. Right now they have Dame Judi Dench doing the narrating of the entire ride, which is really cool. You know, it's a relatively recent update. So definitely one of my highly recommends to go do. One of the other rides we did when we were in Future World was Test Track. Now this is a first time ride for me. I'd never ridden Test Track. And it definitely lived up to its namesake. Test Track is a whole lot of fun. As a matter of fact, before I talk about Test Track, here's another quick video. One of our Test Track car videos that we got to do after we did the ride. So take a look at that, and I'll be right back.
A groovy grassroots lifestyle is all about giving back, man. Take what you need, but need what you take. Because what goes around totally comes around. Efficiency by Chevrolet. It's going around.
Honey, you don't get to be where I am by backing down. If you want to stay center stage, you gotta be ready for anything. That's capability, baby. Capability by Chevrolet. Earn the spotlight and keep it.
Although the definition of power is outside the parameters of my programming, a cursory analysis can only lead to one conclusion. Power is what you make of it. Introducing Power by Chevrolet. It is only logical.
All right, well, welcome back. I actually put a couple of those car videos in there. I know you're probably expecting only one, but that's an example of something you get to do once you finish the ride. You know, you design your car, you go in, you decide what you want your car to look like, you go through the actual ride itself, which takes you through the testing phases in a digital type environment of how they test concept cars, and then of course it finishes up with a high-speed lap around test track. And when you get off of it, you get to come off, and there's a lot of experiences you can continue to do with the car you designed. You can compare it to other car designs, you know, your own car designs, and it links to your Magic Band. So like I did on the first day we went on it, we rode it, I did a car on my Magic Band. The next day we did it on my son's Magic Band, and we can actually compare from the 2 days. We can compare the two cars, and it brings them up, and you can check them out. There's games that you can go over, and you can tap your Magic Band, and your car will appear digitally on the screen. You can race other cars and actually control it yourself. And then, as you saw the commercial, there's a section where you can go, you can create your own car commercials for your cars. So that was a couple car commercials you got to see. I'm going to put up a small video of all of our commercials so you can see them all. My original idea was to be really cheesy and put commercial breaks in the show, but that'll drag it out too much. You got to see a couple of them. Hope you enjoyed. And like I said, I'm going to put them all together in one video, and we'll have it separately. So keep an eye out for that. I'll probably have it up probably by, we'll say, Thursday. Maybe sooner. Don't quote me on that. Maybe sooner, but I'm going to try to have it up by Thursday. So, with that said, hope you guys liked that. Test Track was a lot of fun. It was our first time riding it. We really enjoyed it. Another first time ride for us would have been Mission Space. This is a fantastic ride. It has two different options for you. You can go in full bore, where you're getting into actual motion not only the motion simulator ride, but you also get into the ride has a centrifuge option to it. So you can feel yourself moving up and down. You feel the G-forces against your body. So it's not just the motion simulator of what you see in front of you. It's also, you feel it. Then there's the light side of it, where it's just the motion simulator ride, where you sit down and you see what's going on. And if you're getting nauseous, you can just close your eyes and you're not going to see anything. You'll just hear stuff, you know, calm down. We went the light side because we've never ridden this before, and we knew from Star Tours how nauseous we got on Star Tours. So we decided to play it safe, and we rode the light version of it. And honestly, I got a little nauseous on that too. But still, it's a lot of fun because everyone has a role in the capsule. It reminded me of Space Camp, to be honest with you. You know, you go through missions at Space Camp, and you have different button combinations you got to press. Everyone has their own jobs, like commander, engineer, pilot, things of that nature. So everyone had something to do, and they walk you through that. You get to pilot the ship. Obviously, it's on an automated program. It's going to go through that program whether you press the buttons or not, because they know that some people just won't understand. But it was a lot of fun for us. We really enjoyed it. And I got to play astronaut for a day. Next time, I might try the big one, the one that you actually feel it. But I'm definitely taking some motion sickness pills with me before I do that. So it was a lot of fun. I really recommend it, particularly if you're into space and exploration. Right up your alley. On the other side of Future World, we'll talk about Turtle Talk with Crush, where you get to go in and sit down and Crush interacts with you. Now you're probably going, really? How's that work? Well, basically you have a giant screen in front of you, and it looks like glass that you're looking into the ocean. And they call Crush out, and Crush comes down, and he will interact with the guests in the audience. It's not like pre-programmed, hi dude, how you doing? Oh, that's great. Thank you for coming. It's not like that. It's actual interactions. So he'll be like, hey, I want to talk to the little dude down there with the orange shell. He's pointing out to a kid with an orange shirt on. And the kid might say, yeah, I'm from Abu Dhabi. Oh, I've been to Abu Dhabi. He actually responds. So they've worked in the technology where they can actually have a cast member respond through as Crush's voice as the character. And the character mouths and matches what it's saying. So it's extremely well done. The kids really get an opportunity to talk with Crush. And every time you go on it, although there's certain things that are the same, or similar rather, each time is a different experience. So a lot of fun. We made a point when we did last time we went, we had to go this time as well. Along with that, you got the Seas with Nemo and Friends, where you get to go around the giant Living Seas exhibit underwater. Lots of fun. Along with that, you have the actual living seas exhibit where you get to go through and walk down the tunnels and see the other fish and see into the tanks. If you're really into fish and nature of that, like that, this is definitely the road to go. There's actually even a restaurant there, which we didn't visit, that you can eat at. You gotta be a seafood fan if you want to eat that restaurant, though, because most of their food is seafood related. But you get to, in that restaurant, you get to sit down at the tanks and look into the water and check it out. So kind of cool. So really enjoyed all that. I mean, that whole section, between Finding Nemo, Crush, and the Living Seas, very educational, but fun at the same time. You saw some of the pictures I took from the Living Seas. There's a hidden Mickey. It's not really hidden, but it's a giant Mickey on the floor in one of the tanks. So it has the Living Seas is actually one of the largest tanks in the world as far as that style of tank is concerned. So it's a lot of fun to check out and see the wide variety of sea life that they have available for you to see and learn about. I hope you guys like the pictures of that because we had a fun time taking it. Next time I'm going to try to actually record more of the seas video-wise instead of just doing pictures so you can really see the movement. I tried to do that a little bit right before we walked into Turtle Talk, and if you guys saw the video of it, where I went down, you can see some of the animals. I'm going to try to do more of that on the next trip. So definitely a favorite of ours. We really enjoyed. We went over to check out Figment. The Journey into Imagination. You gotta enjoy. You gotta check out Figment. Figment's a classic Epcot character. I highly recommend everyone check out Figment because if people lose interest in Figment, he might disappear. And as classic and as true Epcot as Figment is, I hate to see him go away. So everyone go check out Figment as often as you can. And what it does is it takes you through a journey of your senses, from smell to hearing to feeling to eyesight. It takes you through, you tests all your senses and helps you explore your imagination through your senses. Real fun ride. It's not necessarily, it is educational, but it isn't. But it's definitely interesting and a lot of fun to watch. So definitely recommend going and check that out. It's a classic ride, so well worth it. Soarin', which was over in that direction. Actually, it's really over the direction of Living Seas and the land and all that. Soarin', this was actually the first ride we hit. Now, Future World, we did rope drop the second day. The first day, we just kind of went in. We hit Future World. We didn't get there at rope drop. We just kind of showed up right after it opened. Hit the Future World, did that all day, caught dinner in the World Showcase, and then went home before the fireworks. That was our first day there. Second day, however, we knew we were going to spend all the day we could in the World Showcase. So we got in at rope drop, which right there at the very open of the park, and decided we're going to go hit a bunch of stuff in Future World while we're waiting for the World Showcase to open up. And we had all of our fast passes tucked right there early in the morning, so we can knock all that out and go. So rope drop, we went and hit Soarin' right off the bat because Soarin' is one of the toughest rides to get on as the day goes on because it's one of the most popular rides. Soarin' essentially, now keep in mind, this is about to change. They're now converting it into Soarin', over the world as opposed to Soarin' over California. But the original ride we rode, takes you in a flight over the sights of California. And one of the final sights you get to see is Disneyland, which is fantastic to see an aerial view of it. Now, when we went, again, it was the original video and they only had one screen. Right now, they are currently upgrading it. They're adding a second theater to it to allow them to move people through quickly. And they're updating the technology for the videos, and they're updating the video itself to Soarin' over the world. So you see things like the Great Wall of China and such. Really excited about that coming up. But basically, for those who don't know what Soarin' is, essentially you go in, you get into a glider. It looks like a glider, it's chairs. And it lifts you up into this giant screen that wraps kind of around you. So all you see, even out your peripheral vision, you see sky. And it takes you through a flight through California, or what will be, takes you a flight through the world. And you see all the sights, and you get smells. That blows wind at you, so you feel like you're flying. The glider seats that you're in do turn and twist. So with the wind that they blow at you, they blow scents at you, so you can smell what's going on. You feel like you're really gliding through these locations. Soaring Around the World is supposed to be the same way, but with updated technology to look even more realistic. So the ride we rode was the original, which I'm glad we did, because we didn't realize it was necessarily going to switch up like that. We knew the new one was coming, but we didn't realize that they were going to take away the original. So we got an opportunity to get in there and check out the original. We really love that ride. I can't wait to check out the new version of it that's coming up. So I'll have to give you guys an update once we go up there and check it out. I'll update you guys, let you know what we thought of it. So we did Soarin', we did Turtle Talk, we wanted to do the land. Unfortunately, the land was closed, so we really couldn't do that. We did Circle of Life, which was a video about nature and your place in nature and making sure that you don't destroy the world around you. We checked out the fountain. The fountain was a lot of fun. It's a music-themed fountain, so the music that's playing is how the water reacts to the music that's playing. So, if you're listening to hard rock, the water's going to go crazy. If you're listening to classical, it might be a little more smooth and elegant. We enjoyed that. One ride we didn't do, and I kind of wish we did, even though it wasn't really something I was overly excited about, but I did want to do it. I wish we had done it, only because it's gone away, and that was Captain EO. Both times, a couple times we've gone, we've checked it, we looked at it and said, do we want to do this? And we said, no, forget it. And I'm kind of bummed that we didn't do it, only because it's going away, or it's gone away at this point. So, you live, you learn. But, Captain EO was there, we skipped that. We did skip Ellen while we were there, so hopefully next time I'll get to check out Ellen. We hit, tons of gift shops and things of that nature while we were there. I'm trying to stay away from the food aspect of what we did, just because I'm going to do an episode on food. And Future World's not that big. So I'm trying to be careful. We did do the character meet and greets. So we checked out Chip and Dale, went and checked out Goofy and Minnie, and had fun with the character meet and greets. They're very interactive. Goofy and my son were acting extremely silly with the little rocket ship. I'm sure you guys saw that picture. So the character meet and greets were awesome. Epcot in general is awesome. One of the days we went there was the day we went to Ohana. In fact, I think I've got my Ohana stuff in that video. So we'll talk a little bit about Ohana. We did the breakfast at Ohana. Now, I'll talk more about Ohana as food is concerned in the food episode. But, we did Ohana and then hopped on the monorail, which, in my opinion, is a ride unto itself. And we rode the monorail into Epcot on I think the second day. My days are all twisted around because, like I said, we did so much in a short period of time. So the monorail is fun because it takes you into Epcot and you come around to disembark from the monorail. Lots of fun. It's a ride unto itself. And it gives you a different perspective of Epcot. So, highly recommend it. This is a very short video talking about Future World because there's only so many things to do in Future World. I mean, there's plenty of rides. Like there's you've got the intervention section where you can go through and they had video games, a place to cool off. Now they're reworking some of that, like they've added the color experience, Colortopia. That wasn't open when we were there, that was still under construction. So next time we go, I think there's going to be a lot more to talk about in Future World. But this time around, that's kind of what we did. And we kind of redid a bunch of things over and over in Future World because we really enjoy them. Test Track is a must-do for me. Soarin', I want to do, it's not necessarily a must-do, but it's definitely I want to do. Mission Space is a want to, but not necessarily a have to. Soarin' is a must-do. So Test Track, Soarin', Turtle Talk, even without the kids, it's definitely worth doing. The Living Seas, Nemo and Friends, definitely must-dos. Next time around, hopefully I'm going to do the land. I've been told by dozens of people, I've never done the land. I've been told that even though it's kind of a slow-moving educational ride, it's a must-do. So I can't wait to check that out. So, Club Cool, another thing it's a must-do. I'm not talking about it right now because it's in food. But that was a must-do. So, Future World, almost a day by itself. I highly recommend doing that in the morning and then maybe hitting some World Showcase in the evening, particularly for dinner. But that's Future World in a nutshell. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, coming up after the Epcot series, I'm going to be making some major changes to Mondays with Mickey. some format changes. I'm already starting to get some feedback from you guys. I truly appreciate it. I want your feedback. What changes would you like to see? Things you'd like to see more of? Things you'd like to see less of? Do you have ideas for the show you think would make it more enjoyable to watch? Because this show, again, is not just about me recording and enjoying, expressing my love of Disney. It's also for you guys, and you have to enjoy watching it. So I encourage you to get with me, either through here on YouTube. You can send me a message on Facebook. Just look me up, Michael, and my last name is Knigge, Knigge. Look me up on Facebook, send me a message. Send me a message here on YouTube. You can look me up on Twitter, same name, Michael Knigge. And I want to hear from you, because this show is for you guys. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close it out for this week. Next week, we're going to talk about World Showcase. And remember, Walt said it best. I hope we never lose sight of one thing. This was all started by a mouse. Thank you so much for listening and looking at my ugly mug and listening to all the noises in the background as we're working on the house. And I look forward to seeing you all next week.